This is Louis Kavoris. Welcome to our art encounter. Today I've chosen two sculptures and we're going to do it a little fancy. Look at this nice light box I set up with a little turntable. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to kind of look at these pieces 360. I found that sculptures actually work pretty well to show you on the video because we don't have to deal with the glare of the glass of a work that's been preserved and is housed behind a piece of glass. So these are two sculptures, and if I ask you what is the material that these sculptures are made of, and you can see my hand here so that you can see about the size of these. This one is quite heavy as an object. So this is bronze. So this is a bronze sculpture. It's done with what's called a lost wax method. So this began as a sculpture in wax, this top part, and you can see that the bottom here, this is marble. This piece is just solid bronze all of the way down. So this has been given a natural pedestal, and then we can put it on a separate pedestal. And even here, I've put it in the frame of this light box with some lighting so that you can see and appreciate the piece without the rest of the world. So again, that honorific action. Okay, we have a larger male and this female piece. And as we look at this chapter and this lecture on expression, I thought these were perfect pieces to look at because there's a lot of expressive qualities in it. And I would say that these works are expressive and emotional and show various emotions. And we're going to take that apart during the lecture. So we'll use these as examples. With the bronze, in the first function, I think the bronze itself is expressive. And you can say that the color is expressive. This color that we have on a sculpture is called the patina. So you can see that the artist here, and these are by Seth Vanderbilt. He is from Wyoming. He is a sculptor, and he likes to work in this bronze. He does some very large figures also. But the color, you can see that he's even created this ombre in both of these, that it starts as one color and then it comes down so that you can appreciate a different color at the bottom of the piece. And the same thing happens here on the female figure. Yeah, I quite like the female figure. She reminds me of a dancer dancing in her nice attitude of a leg. Yeah, so there's something quite lovely about that. And the male figure in this contracted position is also quite expressive. And we can even say that even close, you can see the veins of the hand, that there's something quite expressive about the hands and the feet. It's even a precarious little pose because if you think about the amount of weight that has to then settle here on this one little part, it's quite a lovely balance that they have here. Now you're looking at the figure move. So this will give me an opportunity to zoom in so that you can get a closer look at the various expressive components. And you can look at the sculpture all of the way around. Now we can wonder what he's feeling. And as we look at expression, one of the things we're going to talk about is that the expressive qualities of the piece are rather open for interpretation. We probably see this, some can see this as a more tortured shape, some might just see this as a more withdrawn shape and a more emotional moment in the life of this figure. And again, if we use the first and second function, We probably can think there's a character here, there is a person, there is a moment that we capture this moment of the life of this figure. And that becomes, as Suzanne Langer said, a metaphor for human existence. So this is a very human moment, and we can look at this figure and we can appreciate its humanness, even though it's not alive. And then we can appreciate our humanness, and we can appreciate what humanness is altogether. But I also want to say that there's a lot in even the color. There's feeling in the black base. There's feeling in this color of bronze. There's feeling in the green color at the top here. So that there is a lot going on, that there's feeling in the shape. And then we can even just look at the feeling of closeness, of contracture here. That has a feeling also with the piece. So even in the first function, I would say that in works of art, there's feeling everywhere. Yeah, even in the colors, even in the shapes, even in the design. Yeah, the roundness of this back is a beautiful, beautiful curve compared to, you can see how he placed the sculpture on something that is more linear and has a different kind of roundness. So there's even a contrast there. So I always say, look at the choices. What are the choices that the artist made to achieve this moment? Yeah, I'm gonna go in a little closer just so that you can really come in close and see this lovely figure. Those of you that are artists and have done visual arts know that the hands and the feet are sometimes the hardest things to sculpt and to draw. So I look at this piece and I really appreciate the technical skill of how the artist has made these feet with all their little components come alive. Yeah, and he's got a lovely face here as well. And you see this, the various curves and the color. And if we get in here, this is where you can see where the artist, let me see if I can focus, the artist has signed it. This is Seth Vanderbilt. And then we have a copyright, and we have a number here as well. So you can see this is number 75 out of 100 sculptures. I think I've read that correctly in the bronze. Yeah, so there are 100 of these pieces that we created. Again, it was created in wax. A mold was made. The wax was then melted out of the mold so that bronze could be put into the mold. And then you'll see that it is quite heavy because this is metal and the bottom part here is stone. Here we go, focus. Yes, nice, lovely. Looking at the female figure here, here we have a sign, a signature, so Seth Vanderbilt, and this is number 38 of 330. I could possibly say 350. I don't have my reading glasses on. So as we pull back here, now you can appreciate her overall form as she's moving, and we're looking at her as she moves. Now, he's probably not a dancer. He might have had a dancer pose for this to draw it, and then when he sculpted it, he made some choices. So sometimes we could even look at it and say, well, there's, you know, maybe she could be more turned out. Maybe there's this or that about the moment, because we might have different aesthetic choices that we like in dance. But I have always appreciated her as a form. Let me get a little closer so that you can get a sense of her face. get a sense of her arch, the arch of her back, the movement of her spine, the movement of the hair. I love the clutch of the arms and the shape there. That's lovely. And as we go down here, you can see again the feet and that precarious perch attaching her to the stand. Yeah, even the stand here, when we talk about expression and feeling, there's lovely feeling in those circles, in that shape, in the patina. This was probably achieved with some kind of chemical that was applied. And most of you know that things that are bronze, like the Statue of Liberty, bronze and copper, in time they can develop this patina and they can change color, they can oxidize, and they can even, because of the iron, have that green color that can form in there. So if you ever look at the pennies in your pocket, you can see that sometimes they have the coins, that metal has a lovely kind of patina that develops so that you can see it. Yeah. Again, our entire lecture is about expression, and we can see that there's expression everywhere in these pieces, in the materials, in the colors, there's feeling in them, and then we can postulate what is this expression of this figure. What is she feeling at this moment as we see this metal becomes a person, and the person is symbolic of a moment and an emotional moment in the life of a possible character. Yeah. Welcome to our chapter on expression.